I am so lazy.
Okay, so
That's true.
the good news is that what we're going to do today takes us away from the graphing that we were working with, and I know that you guys are not usually very fond of those things. Okay. The bad news for some of you is what we're doing today is all about factoring.
No.
Okay? So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the chapter, rational in math speak should trigger in your head the idea of fractions. Okay? And so what we're doing today is the equivalent of saying 8 over 4 is a rational expression, but I can reduce that to 2 over 1. So we're going to do the exact same thing today, but instead of just having 8 over 4, it's going to be a rational expression, which means it's going to be like x squared plus 7x plus 10 over x minus 3x minus 10. And it's really, really fun.
So you can factor the top and take an x out.
It's really fun.
Isn't it just... you just cancel the 10 from the top though.
Oh my gosh, okay. Very first thing you have to understand, I'm glad that Forrest brought this up,
Am I wrong?
is the only time that you can cancel things when you are dividing. When it's a fraction, the only time you can cancel because you're dividing is when you're doing the opposite of dividing, which is multiplying. So I absolutely may not cancel those two tens. Okay? I cannot cancel those two tens because that's being added on there and being subtracted.
So what about the x squared?
Okay, so in order to cancel something, I need to change this to a multiplication problem, which Tucker said, doesn't that mean you just factor the top, factor the bottom, and cancel? And the answer is absolutely yes.
So x and x.
Okay, so if you can factor, yes. And just like with fractions, it's possible that you'll end up with an expression that cannot be reduced.
Plus 2 plus 5.
X's there?
Because I need to get an x squared, so x times x is x squared. So I need two numbers that multiply together to give me 10 and add together to give me 7, and that's going to be x plus 5 and x plus 2. Okay?
Wait, multiply to 10.
Multiply to this number right here, add to that number right there. Okay? So same deal on the next one. I'm going to go x and x because I have an x squared. Now I need two numbers that multiply to be negative 10 and add together to be negative 3. Say again. Negative 5 and 2. Yeah. Okay? Negative 5 and positive 2.
Now what?
Okay? Now that I have this as this times this, then I can cancel those, and my final answer is x plus 5 over x.
Wait, why wouldn't you cancel the 3?
They're different signs.
They're different because this is plus 5 and that's minus 5. Okay, now there is a situation when I can cancel when they're not exactly the same. If I had, if I have, Katie, this is what you're thinking of. If I have x minus 5 over 5 minus x, okay, then I can cancel those out and get negative 1 because they're opposite. So I get, instead of 1, I get negative 1. But the reason for that is because this x is positive, this x is negative, so they're opposites, right? This 5 is negative and this 5 is positive, so they're opposites. In this problem here, it's only the 5s that are opposite, not the x's, so I can't cancel. Okay? All right? Okay.
Wait, don't change that yet. Wait.
All right.
I was trying to listen to what you're saying.
Sweet.
So that's the answer.
What?
You ready? You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's do another one like that. That was just trying to make a connection with reducing fractions that you've done before in your life. Okay? So try this on your own. Won't say it out loud. Try this on your own. I'm a little worried, Courtney, you usually blurt things out in class. You always have the answer. Give everyone else a chance.
She's my lab partner. So I know she doesn't do that.
Forrest, you said you wanted to
Yeah.
take us through this?
So the first one on top is x plus 4 and then x minus 2.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay. Is that what everybody else got?
Yeah.
X plus 4, x minus 2, because 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and 4 minus 2 is positive 2. Okay, good deal. And then the bottom?
Wait, all the part.
And then the bottom is x minus 3 and x minus 2. Because multiplied they get positive 6. And
Yep. Okay, good. So then the bottom factor is x minus 3 times x minus 2, because a negative times a negative is a positive, but a negative plus a negative is a negative. So those two things cancel, and you get x plus 4 over x minus 3.
Now we get a
Right?
treat if we got it right.
You what? Yeah, now you get a treat
Hard
if
for
you
knowing,
got
like, if it's hard.
it. Kind of, no.
can we like take everyone who got that right?
You mean today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get an extra credit.
pretty much. What?
If like everyone got that right, can we just take like half from
Okay, and then there are some that are a little bit harder to factor that kind of mess you guys up a little bit.
Did anything even cancel?
Because, yeah, the x minus,
Oh, the x minus 2. Okay,
x
so
minus
we
2 is
just,
canceled.
oh god.
Okay, so this one right here is one that's actually easier, but because it's not in the format that you guys are used to, it tends to confuse you a little bit, okay? 12 minus 4x is easy to factor because there's no square.
So it's
Okay?
just 3.
Yeah, so all you do is you just look at what goes into 12 and 4 evenly, and that is 4.
That's what I mean.
Okay? And then,
We divide.
right, you divide, and 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then if you take the 4 out of 4x, you're left with an x. Okay? So you don't always have to go with 2 sets of parentheses. No. X minus 3 is the opposite of 3 minus x, which actually is going to come into play.
Because that makes it 3 negative and the x positive.
Okay, and then the x squared minus 9 I was trying to talk to you about when we were going over the quiz answers. Since that's a squared thing and then something without a variable, we're going to have to go double parentheses. What is it and what?
3 and 3.
Right, x minus 3 and x plus 3.
Yeah,
Okay?
because add together they equal 0, but multiplied they get negative 9.
And that has a special name. It's called
Stupid.
the difference of 2 squares. Yeah. Okay, now this then to cancel, notice I have a 3 minus x and an x minus 3, which is exactly what we were talking about before. These will cancel because the 3 and the negative 3 are opposite, the negative x and the x are opposite, but instead of being 4 over x plus 3, it is negative 4 over x plus 3. Okay? Because I had to throw a negative in there to switch this 3 to be a negative 3 and to switch that x to be a positive x so that they would cancel.
Why can't you just cancel off the top of the bottom, the other bottom?
I just did cancel off the top and bottom.
No, with the other bottom.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Because this one has a negative and this one doesn't. So they're not the same thing. So the step that I skipped in between here is I
Multiply by negative 1.
right, I multiplied by negative 1, so I made this 4 times negative 1, which changes that to x plus, x minus 3.
Isn't it all times negative 1? Yeah, you have to times everything though, right?
So if I take a negative 1 out of there, then negative 1 times x is negative x, and negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3, and now they will cancel and give me that.
Nice.
Okay? When they're opposite like that, I know that's a little bit confusing, but you know, that's just how that goes.
So you just always change the top and one.
Do you need to see that for longer?
She's still a 1.
You don't understand it? Okay, well, when it comes up, you can have some further conversation about it.
If it's really like that.
Okay? Good thing this recording
It looks
thing
like
only
Brett's
has...
car.
Do you
Oh,
always
you're
change the
So everybody, guys, Brett, we got a car by this.
Online, it
Look at
looks really
What's going on?
pixelated.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay. Wait, I got it. So there's
Not like this.
This one should be the easiest one of all.
because now that. Wait.
Here's how. Go ahead.
There's nothing you can take
There's
out.
nothing I can pull out of anything because I don't have a plus or a minus or anything. Okay? So all I'm just doing is straight reducing this. Okay? So 24 over 6 reduces to what? Negative 4, because 6 goes into 24 4 times. And then if I have x squared on the bottom, that's like x times x. X cubed on the top is like x times x times x.
So you get x.
So those two cancel 2 of those, it leaves me with an x.
Over y.
Right, and then same thing with the y's. So those cancel 2 of those, and so I'm left with negative 4x over y. That's it. Okay? So if there's no plus or minus, it's just a simple reducing problem. Okay? Okay, last one.
No.
You want to do more than this?
No.
You pick your
All right. The only other thing you need to understand is that when you are forced,
What?
other forced, when you are multiplying fractions, you can cross cancel also, right? So you don't have to just cancel what's right on top of each other. You can also cancel something top and bottom even if it's on the other side. So let's take and factor this top part here. X squared plus x minus 6 factors into,
x times x.
I'm having an x and an x.
Negative. No. Negative 2 plus 3.
Negative 2 plus 3. X squared minus 25 is the difference of 2 squares, so that factors into
X plus 5, x minus 5.
x plus 5 and x minus 5. Okay, x minus 5 can't factor at all. X squared plus 4x plus 3 factors into very nice. And now that everybody is factored, we start canceling things up. So
Those
x
two
minus
cancel out.
5 and the x minus 5 cancel. The x plus 3 and the x plus 3 cancel.
Wait, I'll just slow down there.
Times x plus 5 over x.
Beautiful. All right, and you could FOIL that top part out again. I don't know if that's how they have the answers in the back or not.
Leave it.
No, that's fine, just leave it. Yeah, that's fine. All right?
You can factor that somehow? How do you factor that?
You can't be the only kid on the team where he stirs.
Especially when there's 2 other kids in high socks that can use You see his black number?
Yeah.
It wasn't WIAA approved.
My butt?
What? No, vampires.